Trying to get my centering. Anyway, okay, so you know why we're here. We are here to talk about UFC 250. I'm outside, please. I apologize for all of the outside noise, but we're here to talk about UFC 250, which happened just yesterday, and it was a fantastic event. I hope you saw it. If you did not, please go check it out. We had some knockouts. We had the bantamweights on fire, and history was made. All right, so let's talk about it. Oh, and also, I'm back. After the first 3 UFC events, honestly, not getting over 500, I was getting worried about my pick, worried about my MMA eye, and I came back with a vengeance. I made 5 picks, and I got all 5 picks. Perfect score. Perfect, darling. So I'm not going to go through and say, just know I got all my picks. All right, so I'm back. Now let's just go ahead and talk about this marvelous event. Like I said, the bantamweights were on display, and we opened up the event with Sugar Shane O'Malley taking on Eddie Wineland. Eddie Wineland's mustache. Now that was a winner, and that was about it. This ended in the first round in spectacular fashion. They started out, there was very, very little feeling of each other out. You knew that O'Malley had the reach advantage, which he used from the gate. He was throwing kicks, he was throwing punches, he was fighting long, and then he actually threw a feinted an uppercut, which got Eddie to bite. He kind of looked at it and dropped his guard a little bit, and then he came over the top with an overhand, or with a, I believe it was a right hook or an overhand right, which clocked him straight on the jaw and knocked him all the way out. Sleep. And actually, I didn't even do that justice. He got him to bite on the feint, and then he came over the top with the right hand and knocked him all the way out. Sleep for a long time. Like, for a while. This was a great win for Sugar O'Malley. Afterwards, you know, he's talking about wanting a little bit more money, wanting someone in the top 10, wanting a main event. I'm not sure about a main event, but definitely a top 10 ranked opponent, because he's got that star quality, you know what I'm saying? And probably a co-main event. I think that sounds right about right. You let me know what should be next for Sugar Shane O'Malley. Next up, we saw Neil Magny get kind of a controversial win against Anthony Rocco Martins. Let me know how you feel. This went all 3 rounds. All 3 judges, unanimous decision. 2 of them gave him 30-27, and I don't understand how that happened at all. I believe Rocco clearly won the first round, even though on the stats, Neil actually won every round on the stats. But just because you may land more punches doesn't mean you're controlling the tempo, doesn't mean you're landing cleaner, doesn't mean you're landing harder, doesn't mean you're not getting takedowns, you know what I mean? So for me, Rocco did all of that in the first round. The second round was super close, and the third round Neil took over. Rocco clearly tired because he gassed, and Neil took over. You could possibly have given him the third round by 2, and the second round was super close. So I was expecting a draw, to be quite honest, or a win for Rocco. So the fact that it went to Neil Magny, like I said, I got the pick. But you let me know if you thought that he should have won, should have been a draw, should have been Rocco. You let me know what you thought of that fight. So next up, I got the pick, but I didn't know that he was going to win this quickly. I was actually kind of nervous going back and forth, but Aljo, that's Aljamain Sterling, he came through against Corey Sandhagen, and boy did he, in the first round. From the first minute to the end of that, like, first and a half minute, because that's when it ended. He controlled everything. I believe Corey only landed 1 punch. He came at him aggressively from the beginning. He quickly got the back, quickly took him down. First he started with a rear naked, and Corey was able to fight it off. He was able to land some punches and actually got him to bite on the other arm, and then he slipped the other arm in. Aljo, that is, because he had his back in the perfect triangle guard and all that the whole time. Slipped the arm in, and with Corey's last piece of consciousness, he tapped. He literally tapped and then went to sleep. I've actually never seen that before. With his last piece of consciousness, he tapped and then went to sleep. So this was a great win for Aljo, who I believe is now on a 5-fight winning streak. Let me know, 4 or 5. And Dana White has already said his next fight will be the winner, or the actual new bantamweight champion. We're going to see a Jose and Petr fight for the vacant title. So Aljo will get the winner of that, which means his next fight will be a well-earned, well-deserved title shot. Congratulations, finally, Aljo. I guess let me know if you disagree. Anyway, co-main event, and whoo! Cody Garbrandt, the no love is back, y'all. He is back with a vengeance against Rafael Assunção. This ended in the second round, but Cody controlled the entire fight. Not only did he finish this in the second round, but he looked like the old Cody, sharp, clean footwork, focused, not emotional, such quick hands, such power, beating up the entire body, throwing kicks, beating up the lead leg, being first, controlling the tempo, getting Rafael to bite on feints and all that. So smart, so quick. He was back, like all the way back, and it was wonderful to see. And the way this ended, second round, 4 minutes and 59 seconds, you guys. Okay, he dips, he dodges a couple of shots from Rafael, then he puts his hands down, kind of baits him to come in. He's up against the cage. Then he puts his right arm, squats down, winds up, arm against the cage, eyes never taken off of Rafael, winds up, whack, over, face down, all the way out, sleep. The last second of the second round, he wound up like an action figure. This was straight out of a movie. This was holy-ish. Okay, I mean, it was an amazing knockout. And again, he looked amazing throughout the entire fight. Rafael went face down. Then when they were able to get him back up and on the stool, they thought he was okay. They left him alone on the stool and he started passing out again. I've never seen that before. Yeah, amazing. Cody No Love is back, y'all. And he's probably going to switch places with Rafael, who was ranked number 5, so he's right back in there. The bantamweights put on a show, even in the prelims, they put on a show. Great event. And now, topped off by the main event, and still the UFC Women's Featherweight Champion, and also Bantamweight Champion, and also the first fighter, male or female, to hold 2 belts in 2 divisions at the same time and defend both belts at the same time. Not talk about rare air. She's the only one up there. Amanda, the Lioness Nunes. Boy, did she defend her belt against Felicia Spencer, who, I mean, I knew she was tough. That was my thing. I wanted Amanda to finish her. I'm so bloodthirsty. The whole time, finish her. I'm so horrible. She dominated her from minute 1 to minute end. Felicia's got good. Oh, this was a showcase for Miss Amanda Nunes. She did everything she wanted to do. She was barely touched. She controlled the pace on the feet. She first was picking her apart on the feet. She even took her down. Even when Felicia tried to do it, she would reverse it. She would get up off the cage. She just beat her up. The leg kicks. By the end of it, she was kicking her. Felicia was falling, kicking her, and it was her leg was all blue and purple. Her face, hematoma on the forehead, cuts above and below, swollen knots, blood dripping down her face, blood stained white shirt, beating for 5 rounds. And yes, she did last 5 rounds. And there was comments throughout after that 4th when Amanda got that rear naked. Not only did she get the rear naked at the last Felicia saved by the bell in the 4th round. Before she got that, she actually bopped her up with like a 3-piece that almost knocked Felicia cold. Then she took her to the ground. Then she took neck. And at the end of that 4th round, that's when even the announcers was like, okay, corner, maybe you want to save your fighter here. So I was kind of thinking the ref would save her in the 5th round, but Amanda, I think those people thought, I thought in the in real time she was letting her off the hook, but she wasn't. She wanted to prove a point that she could last 5 rounds and finally put that gas tank question to bed. And when she took her down for 3 minutes, and you're like, if you had her on the feet, Amanda, you could probably knock her out. But she took her down for like 3 minutes in the 5th round, but then she was elbowing the crap out of her and cutting her open even more and had blood covering her face. So that's not really letting her off the hook now, is it? You know what I'm saying? So, flawless victory for Miss Amanda Nunes, making history. I'm so glad I was there to see it. I told you I love it when women make history in categories where men can do it too. There's, 3, 4, 5 other men who have been double champs. Any one of the Henry Cejudo, had he not vacated the flyweight belt, he would have actually been the first to do this, but he did. So Amanda, Now, who would you like to see her fight next? Now, let's talk about this real quickly because I know it's getting a little long. This is how I feel. And you know, hindsight's 2020, but I'm thinking now, like, man, Jermaine Dumartine, she really kind of messed up the flyweight division. It's so empty now. Had she had stayed there, you already would have had the girls kind of working up skill-wise to a champion. Had Holly Holm maybe got a draw or maybe even won the belt, both of them would have been in that division, kind of building it up before Cyborg got there. Had Jermaine not refused to fight Cyborg in a division that you knew was created for her, and both of them would have been there, the girls would have been working their way up, and maybe it wouldn't be quite as shallow as it is. However, it is super shallow. She could probably go another year without defending that belt. Also, the bantamweight division, there needs to be some fighting going on there. Irene Aldana, she needs, for me, to get another win or two. You could probably go a good 6-8 months there without defending that belt as well. So because of that, I am now floating back over to the side that I was not on, which was Clarissa Shields. Amanda, I know you don't want to fight her, but looky here. Take a year, work on your boxing. Dana White and the boxing people get the money together. Offer her $15 million. Offer them both $15 million. Make them headline. Put a big person on the undercard, like a Terrence Crawford or even a Sean Porter or an Errol Spence Jr., someone like that. Put one of them on the undercard. You can sell it. You can sell it. Amanda Nunes will probably lose. But then in another year, Clarissa Shields, you hold up your end of the bargain and you come to the octagon. And you can sell it. And it could be the biggest, not only women's MMA fight as far as money-wise, but possibly the biggest, I think, female boxing fight ever, too, if you really do it right. I'm coming back around, Clarissa. Because Amanda, baby, you got time. Now, let me know what you think should happen. Let me know how you feel. Congratulations to Amanda Nunes and all that. How you feel about the bantamweight division and all of that movement and things that happened there. What you think should be next for Amanda Nunes and what you think about the possible Clarissa Shields. Let me know how you did on all your picks because I was perfect. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care. Like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.